Alright guys, welcome guys to Fairfield Commons Mall here in Beavercreek, Ohio. Let's go inside and let's go check it out.
Hello
Let's go check
everybody,
it out.
and welcome to the mall at Fairfield Commons here in Beavercreek, Ohio, which is a suburb of the Dayton area. And this particular mall, I will get more in my overall
Hey
impression at the
Steve,
end, but I was
why
really
don't
impressed
we,
with this mall. It is full of
why don't you
life.
walk?
There's plenty of people. There's plenty of big name chains, and with your anchors being a solid lineup, except for the one vacancy, and we will get there. Overall, this mall I think is going to be around for many years to come, and I really enjoy my visit. If I didn't have to, go other places, I would have spent more time here. Now, on to the history of this mall. This mall officially opened as a soft opening to the public on October 27th, 1993. So for being a newer-ish mall, the aesthetics in here are nice. Normally, like a lot of the more modern malls, like especially the ones built in the late 90s and early 2000s, I think the only exception to that is the Mills malls. The majority of them were more bland. The more era of aesthetically pleasing malls was the 70s and the 80s. But for this one built in the 90s, I was really impressed. And the developers of this mall was the Gismister Realty Trust, if I said that right. And the original anchors to the mall was a 150,000 square feet Elder-beerman, a 130,000 square feet Parisian, if I said that right, a 127,000 square foot Sears, and 125,000 square foot JCPenney. So when this mall opened, having four solid anchors with your department store was a good start to the mall. Now, the JCPenney store, like I mentioned before, it did replace two other ones that were in the area, including in Azena and in the Mad River Township. Now, the mall's basic layout is just a straight concourse. JCPenney's placement, and within the stern layout of the mall, does allow to have two interior public entrances on both your bottom and your top floor. One set opens up to the end of the straight concourse, the other set opens up to the middle of the other concourse. So basically, the way this mall was built is the JCPenney was like the focal point of the mall. That's why you will see that JCPenney has two mall entrances, while the other anchors only have one. And the best shape of this mall is this is basically more or less, it's like you have four wings. Well, I should say it's really three that kind of all meet in the middle, and the middle part is this big part that you just saw with the big obstacle thing and the huge skylight going up, and then there's a few sub wings, just like the one that is in the food court, is upstairs, which also has the weird decks. Now, this mall would add a fifth anchor, which was a 151,000 square foot Lazarus space, and that opened up a year later on September 23rd, 1994, and it had a 3-day official grand opening celebration, which, of course, they were really excited. Now, the reason why this anchor did come later was because Federated, they filed for bankruptcy in 1992. I think I mentioned that was officially Macy's. So Macy's did file for bankruptcy 30 years ago. Most people do not know that, but they did. And so they were delayed because they had to get through the bankruptcy courts before they could officially open up the store. That's why it was later. Now, a sixth anchor to the mall was the Dick's Sporting Goods. Although 2 stories, the mall's only interior access entrance to the upper level, like I mentioned, was actually through the food court of the mall. And there really wasn't much history, for the rest of the 2000s, up until 2007, when the Bon-Ton stores, which at this point bought the Elder-beerman chain, as many of you know, Bon-Ton bought many names such as Carson Perry Scott. They own the Bon-Ton, Elder-beerman. They also own some out west, such as the Yonkers chain, and this is one of the ones that they owned. And they made a weird decision, and they ultimately decided to convert the existing Parisian store to an additional Elder-beerman location. So they basically added 2 Elder-beermans to this particular mall, and the original store was officially reconfigured to house the men's, children, and the home departments on the upper level and a furniture gallery on the bottom, while the new store would officially house women's clothing, cosmetics, shoes, and accessories. So kind of unique. I mean, it's not you need to have a dual anchor, but it's usually like the way they like moved around departments. It was a full-fledged remodel, and I wish that I could have seen it when I was here, but obviously Bonton's gone. As you know, the whole company ended up going out in 2018, but this one did leave earlier. Now, in April 2014, Elder-beerman announced that it would consolidate its two mall locations back into a regional location, and that would in turn eliminate the furniture gallery. Now, the foundation was complete on August 20th, 2014. The vacated portion of the mall, did not become another anchor. That was officially and demolished in 2015. And it was replaced between 2015 and 2018 with 6 restaurants, 2 attached to the mall, but only exterior public access and 4 freestanding. So you don't really see that anchor where it is inside the mall itself. So you wouldn't really know that there was this here. And that's why when you walked through the video of the mall, when I mentioned that there were 6 anchors, you do not see 6 anchors. And that's one of the reasons why. And in a second, and we will get to the other reason why you don't really see that. And in 2018, Sears announced that it'd be closing as part of a plan to close 12 locations nationwide. The store closed on December 8th, 2018. The lower level of the former Sears is now the Round 1, and the upper level is the Room Place. And that has a very interesting history, too, because there is an article that did come out that announced that as going into the upper level of the Sears space, but it was not officially confirmed that Sears was actually closing yet. Very unique. So, like, you knew that there was a tenant coming, you knew it was going in Sears, but they didn't officially announce Sears was closing. That's unique, and I mean, we all know Sears was struggling at the time, but the fact that it came out before Sears officially closed, you don't see that very often. Usually Sears is fairly prominent at closing down stores, so that's kind of interesting. And as I mentioned, that space became a Room Place and a trade furniture sink. So it's good to see the Sears filled here. As many of you all have seen, it's hard to fill Sears across the country. Dozens and hundreds of malls still have Sears is empty, and that's how you know this mall's doing well, when they filled the Sears space and it has 2 huge tenants. Now, I don't actually know. I couldn't find if the mall owns it or if Eddie owns it. I'm sure my good old friend Parker, if he sees this video, he'll probably comment and confirm that, because I don't honestly know. It's my first time ever here. Now, obviously in 2018 too, and the other Elder-beerman would officially close as the whole company did end up going out. But that space in 2022, Morris offered a pop-up clearance and closeout space. In February 2024, it reported that Dick's Sporting Goods planned to open up their new Dick's House of Sport concept, which you've all have seen. I've been to a couple of them. I filmed the one that was up in, I believe it was Viewmont Mall, and they're huge spaces, and Dick's has been rolling out this concept, across the country, many of them going in, former anchors. And in this case, it was the former second Elder-beerman space that would house this particular thing. And so they would build that, and they'd officially move in 2025, but that obviously meant that when the Dick's House of Sport opened, which I did pop in there, I didn't film it, but I did pop in there, it's really nice. It's like any house of sport. But obviously when that happened, it officially vacated the other Dick's Sporting Goods, which you will all see later in the video when you're up by the food court. You will see the little entrance there to where the Dick's was. And unfortunately that closed. But the House of Sport also means that Dick's is staying. Dick's has moved out of some struggling malls, but this particular one's doing well because obviously they plan on staying. Now, in 2025, there was 2 big blows to this mall that could change in some things. Number 1 was in January 9th, 2025, it was announced that the Macy's space here would be one of 66 to close the state of Ohio, and one of 2 in Ohio. The only other one was, of course, at Franklin Park Mall, which I did film. You can watch that video. I did make it out to this one. I was thinking about it, but never actually happened. But anyway, that was a huge shock, as this mall is doing extremely well. I don't know why Macy's chose to close here, and they stayed open at Dayton Mall, although now I'm hearing that Dayton Mall probably going to close. We're going to leave Dayton area with no Macy's stores. But I don't fault the Macy's closing on the mall. There has to be some other factor. I'm not sure if they leased it and the lease was up. I'm not sure if there was a lot of crime or something else, but it was a huge surprise to me. It was a surprise to everybody to see Macy's leave here, and that is a semi blow to the mall. I mean, it's a huge spot, but I just see them filling this because they've done a really good job at filling the majority of their anchors here. I don't see the Macy's sitting idle forever. But we'll see, only time will tell. And then the other big news was a month after Macy's closed, they announced that Washington Prime, which did acquire this mall, was selling all their malls across the United States. They've actually started to sell some malls, including the Ashland Town Mall, which I filmed in this trip as well. I don't remember if I mentioned in there or not that they were selling it, but yes, so they're selling all their malls, including this one. There is no owner yet of this mall. Washington Prime has not sold it yet. I don't know who's going to buy it. I really hope it's not one of the bad owners. You all know them, Cohen, Namdar, the other ones. I hope that somebody who buys this is a potentially local developer, or maybe Brookfield or Simon, or somebody that knows what they're doing, because this mall has a lot of potential. This is Dayton's thriving mall. You will see when I upload the Dayton mall, I filmed it on this trip as well, that it's not doing as well as this mall. This is the thriving mall in the Dayton area, and this should be for many years to come as long as they have a proper owner. But we'll see what will happen. I do know Washington Prime's trying to get moving on this, so I don't expect it to be too much longer. Probably by this time next year they will have sold them all, but we'll see. Only time will tell. In any event, I'm going to stop blabbing some music into the rest of the video. I hope you all do enjoy. And I will also mention that I do walk into, as an exclusive feature of this mall, as some of you know, this is one of the last Suncoast stores left in the entire country. One of only, I believe, 2 left. So, I decided to include in this video, it's only about a minute or 2 long, where I actually walked in to the Suncoast and I got just some shots of the store, and I hope you all enjoy that. I really enjoyed going in there. That was cool, and Suncoast closed in my area, if we even had it, long ago before I got into retail. So this is my first time ever stepping into a Suncoast store. I decided to throw that in so you all could enjoy that. Like I mentioned before, I hope you guys do enjoy this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed the content I've been putting out. I've been still, trying to get out as many videos as I can, even though I am a full-time college student now. And I'm also working full-time, but I can assure you I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to keep putting videos up because I really do enjoy this. I enjoy doing this for you all. I hope you all enjoy some of the content that I do. And feel free to continue to comment down below. I've been getting a lot better at responding to everybody's comments, and I would love to hear, if there's any corrections or suggestions or just anything. And if it needs a response, I promise you I will respond to it. It may not be immediately, but I will. But in any event, I'm going to sign off for now. So let me see the rest of the video. I hope you all enjoy, and I will talk to you later. Live from the Fairfield Commons Mall in Beavercreek, Ohio, Alex Weinsheimer's out, and I will talk to you real soon. And bye-bye.